James Global, did you just say you have two dragons?
No. Cave jokes, yeah.
Cave drakes. I thought in the last podcast you said you didn't own an evil model.
Oh,
Oh, bringing out the
We found a
receipts.
liar.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Gollum's Gamers podcast. So today, by popular demand, we are back with another tier list episode. As today, as you may have seen by the title, we are going to be doing a tier list of all of the evil factions in Middle-earth SBG. So we've already done this for all the good factions. So that video is up on our channel already. And Ashley said at the end of the video, if we get a certain amount of likes, that we would do the evil factions. And we got like twice the amount that we needed. So the people clearly want to see the ranking of the evil faction. So we are here to deliver, as always. So we are going to get underway. Let's share this right now. Before we get underway, I thought maybe Ashley should maybe explain his recent situation, because I thought, it was a bit of a tough weekend for you, Ashley.
It was it was a very upsetting weekend. So I was meant to go to Stirling with the boys. However, I fell ill. I ate a fermented spider's eye and had to go to hospital. My hunger bar went down to nothing, and I started taking damage. Luckily, Sam and James were there with a jug to boost me back up, get me back to bed. But effectively, I went to hospital and came home feeling worse for wear due to some lamb or pork that I may or may not have cooked properly. And then stayed in bed this weekend as opposed to go to Scotland. So it wasn't too fun.
Because that would have been your opportunity to win the league potentially, and you had to sub out.
Yeah. So if I would have won Stirling, then basically it comes down to a 3-person shootout at the finale, and whoever wins that out of me, Farmer and Rawson, would win the league. But it wasn't to be,
Apparently not. No, so that is why Ashley has taken the spot of our worst tier this week. So
taking a fat L
for the audio listener for our tier list. So if you are the very best faction for the evil ones, you would be put in the lemon category, and then descending down from there, the categories are named silly, nervous, dog, and Ashley Walker, of course. So we are going to get underway with Goblin Town. I thought we would start with. Where are we doing Goblin Town? The little fuckers.
Oh, I think Goblin Town is such a fun and potentially competitive army. The only thing that lets it down is the courage.
And now
really.
I should probably say before we get underway, so if people haven't seen the one for the good factions yet, how we're ranking this, so it's not including any legendary legions, so it's only the pure army, well, not the pure army, but we're also taking into account allies. So if it has good allies, then that's one notch on the belt into why we might rank it higher. But we're not taking legions into account.
So effectively, we're taking into account every aspect that this faction can bring to your competitive gameplay. Effectively,
essentially, not including a legion, because obviously some factions are much better.
Yeah, we already ranked the legions.
We did. I think that's our
Check it
first
out below.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just throw out a silly nervous. Not at the top, just at the bottom.
Oh, do me and Sam agree? This is
That's been wrong.
really, we're building ground here. We're making connections.
Yeah, brother.
We're also placing these on their sort of good sort of points limit as well, right? So Goblin Town obviously perform anything up to and including probably 650.
Oh yeah, how did we talk about that last time? I can't remember. Like with Loth, for example, did we?
We just talked about it subjectively, saying how good it is compared to the different points levels.
I don't think Goblin Town hits enough heights to really warrant silly nervous.
But were we knocking other factions last time because they didn't do well at many points levels?
Oh yeah, wholeheartedly.
We were. Okay.
We were and we weren't.
We weren't really, because we put Loth right at the top.
Yeah.
Which was proven right. I mean, I don't know if Elliot's going to show us
exactly, because of the alliances.
Yeah, which is one of the factors.
So we're saying alliances override points limits, because at low points, Loth doesn't really work, but because it's so good at high points, linked in with other armies, we then put it in Lemon or Silly Nervous, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. So its ability to ally well is more important than its ability to perform purely at every single point.
So actually, we're ranking this on its percentage likelihood to be making it into a winning list.
Yes.
Guess so. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
Regardless of how it does that. Yeah. Yeah.
so Goblin Town doesn't really ally well. It doesn't do well at high points. So it's probably not quite good enough to be Silly Nervous, I think.
I'd argue Will came fourth this weekend at 800 points with an allied with his list.
That's world champion.
As well, though.
It's still
One of the Whitefoots won the 90 with Goblin Town.
Isn't it you can't win an event
Yeah.
with Goblin Town?
I think it's
I know Jakob finished well with it, especially at low points. It is very, very, very good.
Admittedly, it's if you play certain scenarios, you're kind of just feeling really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on scenario, and if you're not playing Terror, it's all right. Like, but if you start facing like Terror walls, you just can't do anything. It's the Courage 2. Even the Goblin King can't do anything at Courage 3. Having a Courage 3 like big hitter it's not good.
I think it's better than all right. It is very good, in my opinion.
Like Spider Queen ally. Yeah.
Whether it's
bottom
like
of Silly Nervous is,
whether
I think, is
top
quite
of nervous stroke bottom of Silly Nervous. Adam and James, we haven't heard from you. What do you think?
I think based on the fact that it does win events, I would say bottom of Silly.
Okay. Seems like there's three.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that.
Do we think the Spider Queen allied in at high points, like, do we think that's competitive? Because I think we've talked about this before, and we said not really because of magic. Just bullies a Spider Queen, and
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you need
want it-
multiple
you'd want it
allies
to
for
work,
it to
but it
really
doesn't.
work.
You definitely need multiple allies for it to work. But I don't think the bottom of Silly Nervous is is stretching it too far. Like, we're just saying that it is a good list, because nervous would mean it's an average list.
fine. Yeah, bottom of Silly Nervous is all right.
Okay. Yeah. We can maybe reshuffle things. Okay. So moving on, we have Isengard.
To me, this is just nervous. This is the most standard average thing you could possibly get in.
I was going to say exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Isengard is the definition
when you
of
ally
nervous.
Saruman, though.
It's the thing is like pure. It's nervous, but then when you're like, Saruman is by far the best bit about it. If you're not including legions, obviously the scouts list they're not involved at all. So if you're taking if pure, it's
Or
nervous.
Assault on Helm's Deep.
Yeah, if it's pure, it's nervous, and then you ally Saruman with like the list I took. It's not this. Yeah, the Witch King and the Black Nuns and Sudan is what is better. It's you don't ally for Isengard troops or anything.
It does maybe have a similar, like Farmer, for example. He's used a number of times Isengard allied with Mordor, where he's taken like Lurtz, Gorolf, some Berserkers, and like a Crebain. I guess that's maybe kind of similar to like when you ally Suladan in with Mordor, like you're allying in a particular hero with some cheap cav. Like it's sort of the same sort of, there are some really good tools in Isengard that you can get into other lists, but so I think that's really good. But when you look, I think
we'll find it's going to be the higher end of nervous tier.
Yeah,
as we go through the rest of the lists.
Yeah,
but it's definitely not Silly Nervous.
It can't
if we're thinking that Goblin Town, which can win events quite easily if the scenarios are right, is the bottom of Silly Nervous.
Jay did totally win a 90 with a random pure Isengard list, but obviously that's Jay as well. So
that's he had what Vrasku.
Lurtz, I think that would work as well.
Now, was that the escalation event?
It was for.
It was 400-600.
Was it 400? Yeah, maybe it was. Yeah, 400, 600.
No, okay. I think Isengard is really good if you do that sort of thing because it's sort of solid at all sort of levels. but it doesn't
Yeah.
sell anything. It's kind of, if you're a good player, you'll get a lot out of it, but you're still not as competitive as if you're taking, your Hunter Orcs or your Mordor, I think.
Yeah, it's middle of the pack, sort of in all.
Yeah, it's
points
just
levels.
average.
Yeah, I guess like a good player can get a lot more value out of Saruman, but
Yeah, Saruman is unbelievable, and so are Crebain, but that's not enough.
yeah, that's why like allying in those things can obviously increase the potential of the list. But yeah, I don't think there's any justification to put it in scene.
I just wish the troops were better.
Yeah, because they're so elite in the films and everything, and
Yeah, and they're just
I mean, they
they're
are
just
pretty
so-
solid as stats go.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
solid troops, but they're just.
average. Yeah.
I think when you compare them, to Black Gnomes, they're just more expensive and worse. Whereas they need to be.
above average. To be fair, I mean, like their fight 4, strength 4, D6
yeah.
are really good. Like,
No, but they're 10 points. They're the same points as an elf.
yeah, they're just too expensive, which is a shame. So yeah, seems
And,
like
Yeah, the pikes being D5, it's just it doesn't.
Do you
feel
think if
good.
they just were one less point, that would make a massive difference?
The thing is, I'd want them to be better because you can have orcs.
Yeah,
So you can get numbers if you want. You can get shit troops, but what you really need is something a bit different that's like going to be actually scary.
Or they need
Urukai,
like
no one's
what
really-
Easterlings get, where you can have the shields on the pikes and not have any detriment from it. That makes
No,
a
but in the
huge
films that
difference.
didn't happen. So
yeah, in the film, yeah,
I think you
Like,
need
you'd
to
have to
give
make
Urukai
pikemen.
some extra rules. Like in the films, they were terrifying.
yeah.
They were
Give
absolutely
Uruk's terror. That'd be pretty
Well, not
okay.
terrifying, but maybe give them fearless within 3 inches of a hero or something. I don't know. They need
Yeah,
something.
they need some sort of fearless mechanic, some sort of hatred man or hatred of, just
Yeah,
they
plus
should.
one's wound for everything. I don't know, but just make
Yeah.
them good.
Yeah, in agreement. Okay, so
Maybe we'll discuss how to improve such a model in an upcoming episode later.
potentially. Okay, moving on. So Isengard has ended up in the
Before
nerve-
we go to the next one, Elliot,
Go on.
I know. Shout out to Mr. John Partridge, who actually did a stats breakdown of the actual rankings of the different good and evil factions. Are you going to somehow put those into the video at the end or at
Or
the
what,
beginning
sorry?
or something?
in what?
Did you see what John put
Yes,
in
I
the
did. Chat.
the
Yeah,
chat? And it basically ranked where the actual factions statistically were for this season's events.
Yes. Oh yeah, but that was from the spreadsheet on the league website, right?
No, but he worked out, like he condensed it and stuff. He put it together.
Our stat man John Partridge will be doing that for us. So
No, but like it'd be good for the viewers to see it because I found it very interesting.
I'll look into it. You can look into it.
John totally did ask me this weekend for the winning list from Sterling, the podiums, to add to the list.
Really?
as well, to the
That's
stats,
cool.
yeah.
So who
So,
knows?
yeah.
I may already have the stats. They may already be on the screen.
He'll be up to date.
Potentially. Okay. Moving on, we have the dark powers of Dol Guldur.
I think I'd say bottom of nervous.
I think
Like-
outside the Legion, ooh.
Yeah, I was going to say if it's not the Legion, it's pretty
Well,
dog.
the
isn't
Legion
it?
is very different to the
Yeah.
army list. They're completely different. Like you could
It's-
run the dark powers as a normal army, essentially,
Yeah.
with maybe any of the named wraiths. Because
I'm
like
seeing it as an ally thing.
Yeah, you definitely
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to run it as an ally.
yeah, but like obviously you can look at it as well as like part of what goes into the equation is how it is as a pure army.
Yeah.
And obviously, although taking the necromancer with the wraiths is obviously way better in the Legion, you can not take any of the wraiths and have the necromancer, say the keeper, Hunter Orc captain, Gundabad captain, and then Hunter Orcs and Gundabads. Like you've got the spiders. Like it's not the best thing, but like there is an army there outside of just taking the wraiths sort of thing.
There is, but you get advantages if you ally it from taking the same troops. So I don't see why you wouldn't.
I guess it's like if you want the spiders and things like that, you know, and necromancy, of course.
Yeah, I think you just if you're using this, you take maybe a Slayer or maybe the Witch King and then the Hunter Orcs just to ally to maybe make your leader, because then they have the Unholy Resurrection and they live for they're pretty survivable. But apart from that, so I
that there's this really great model in this faction in the Necromancer, and no one's mentioned him yet, and it's just a shame because I really love Necromancer, and it's just
a lot of points for a poo-poo model, unfortunately. Yeah,
I mean, it's not a brutal, like it's a good model. It's just way too many points, which is a shame.
No, he's terrible.
No, unfortunately, the points make him poo-poo. Like 250 points for a caster. If he was like maybe if he had two attacks,
I don't know. Dave did 2 spells a turn. That would make him really good.
It's like
You can do that in the Legion.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, sorry, I
think
wasn't paying attention.
I distracted you and then hit you with a.
I guess he gets +1 to the other Nazguls, but like
Is this the army you take if you want to run pure spiders?
No, that's Dark.
Probably you take Dark Denizens, yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. No, I'm being stupid. Yeah.
But I really like the Necromancer. I like the model, and I just think having an insane caster is just like really, really fun. And it's just, it's a shame that he's even if he was 200, he's still a shit ton. But yeah,
he's 250 points, and his transfix is a 2+, but his compel is the same as Gandalf the Grey, and it's a 4+ 12 inches, which, and when you only have a 6-inch move.
I guess it's that there aren't many or evil casters that get a free point of will every turn as well, and he's also got obviously the 25 will. But yeah, it's let's say you're casting 1 spell a turn, that's not worth 250 points. It doesn't really matter what spell it is. You're not going to get value for that many points in almost every situation, really.
He doesn't get a free will per turn, does he?
Or it's every time he casts a spell, he gets
a free dice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the army bonus. Yeah.
Unless I think I only really see the allying portion, which makes it nervous. If that isn't really enough, maybe dog. But I think it's bottom of nervous if it's the highest place it could be.
I think so. I mean, it's got access to a lot of actually good things, but they don't specifically work that well within it. So yeah, probably nervous.
But the only person I've seen take this outside the Legion is Will taking a Slayer with Hunter Orcs.
It came second or something into the West last year, didn't it?
True. Yeah, this year with
it totally did.
Legion. So I mean,
it wasn't the Legion because it had.
Yeah,
it was just allied in.
Had a load of Castellans.
Is it? I mean, yeah.
Or was that pure actually?
It was pure.
That was pure.
Yeah.
It totally beat me, and I cried. It was. I played it at Contest of Champions with my 34 Harad, which maybe you viewers will get to see soon. And he had 7 models and a Witch King that couldn't ever die. And funny enough, he won at contest. So I think, I was gonna say put it in dog, but now you reminded me it actually podiumed at 100. Definitely put it in nervous.
Is it mega OP if you give the Necromancer the 2 spells a turn outside of the Legion?
No.
So then why doesn't he have that?
He's still not being taken.
That's what I'm saying. But why? Why not give him that then?
Well, they clearly
then
thought...
why would you take the Legion?
You may at high points it may be more viable, but even then...
see, but if it makes it more viable, then what's wrong with that? At least then you'd maybe see it a bit more. Maybe the Legion can have other interactions. If you're spending 250 points on a caster, why not give him the 2 spells a turn? That maybe seems logical. I don't know.
Clearly, they Sorry.
Can we ask them also why I only gave Blurts 1 will?
While we're here.
Yeah, while we're here.
Perfect segue. Yeah.
The more pressing issue.
Yeah, Drake Clare.
I think we can do a pod where the title is literally just why GW, and then we can go through and list all our questions.
At J Clare. Yeah. Maybe so. Okay, so it looks like we're in agreement. It's going in dog. Oh
No.
no, sorry, the bottom of nervous.
No.
Bottom of nervous. Sorry.
Gotta
Bottom
make
of
some
nervous.
X's.
Yeah. Okay. Bottom of nervous underneath Isengard for now. Okay. Moving on, we have the Easterlings. So obviously it's not the Dragon Emperor, but it includes the Dragon Emperor, which is interesting.
I only think this is nervous. I think this is better than
Really?
Sauron.
It's
This is better than Isengard,
I
even
think this
outside
is-
Legion.
I think
I
this
think
has got to be at least like bottom of silly nervous.
really.
I think it's still a good faction. I don't think
It was
Yes.
one of the worst factions before the Dragon Emperor.
now it's
came
still
around.
got the Dragon Emperor.
No, I don't think it's silly nervous.
And it's got good like is it worse than Isengard? I
No,
just
it's
don't
definitely
No.
better than Isengard.
It's better than Isengard.
so how is it not like I think it'd be
I don't
pretty
think it's
good
better
for-
than I don't see you taking the Emperor at any point other than the Legion. And
but that's because you have the Legion, I think. Maybe.
yeah, but like if you're taking it outside the Legion, you still have to
I
pay.
mean, didn't Bryce come third this weekend with the Emperor allied in?
No, that was a Legion.
Yeah, you can ally him with
Was it the
Mordor.
Legion?
Yeah,
Okay. I saw there was a couple of them. I wasn't sure if he was one.
it's like
Just like yes, in the Legion, so you get more points essentially. Through
The-
I
The
like
reason
him
why
with-
Eastlings are better than Isengard is they ally with Mordor much
Yeah.
easier.
I'm not sure what great combinations you can do with Mordor is the only thing with
That's the thing. Yeah, the combinations aren't good. The Dragon
I'd-
Emperor's too
looking at it.
expensive if you don't get those 3 points.
No. You take Witch King with Morannons at
and
the
the
front, and then you put all the pikes behind with the Emperor, so you're getting those rerolls.
Yeah.
and getting a really
Wait
good
for
cast up.
Sam's really good counterpoint that he told me when I was thinking of taking this list. I don't know if
What
he's
courage on the Morannons?
No.
I don't even remember what I said, mate. I'll be honest.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
I wasn't gonna steal your limelight, but now I will. All the Brandons at the front just get trapped because they can't back away. So anytime you lose a combat,
No, that's
the
only
Moran-
if you're running
Yeah, that's if you're going 2 pikes
the
behind.
type block, which you don't have to.
I mean, yeah, you don't have to, but
Yeah.
when you do a pike block, which is one of the best things about Easterlings, like otherwise,
Yeah, but that specific aspect isn't what transfers over when you ally it with Mordor.
Like
yeah,
just
but you lose that really like
Course,
key
course,
element of the
Yeah,
list.
yeah. But you lose it because obviously, otherwise you trap yourself and you just die. So
So, but the thing is, once one of them has died, none of the others will be trapped if you just work your way down the line.
well, Adam, if you were to do it, would you be running it with Morannon at the front with 2 pikes on all of them?
2 pikes in certain locations, but you can do it in a way, if you're clever, that only one of them ends up being trapped.
And you might win that one anyway. Yeah, maybe.
That's
You
only
might
if
win-
you get.
That's
And you
Yeah,
might
that's
win
what
that because you have 4 dice to win it anyway, a higher fight value.
it's just
The
so
only
many
thing that I've
points.
sort of found is like, so you take the Witch King, okay, in like Ash's Witch King's Sylvanas, for example, like you can, compel heroes out into Shagrat range and Sylvanan range and things like that. But if you're taking the Dragon Emperor and the Witch King, your next hero, you don't have a lot of points really at all.
You don't have any points really.
You don't really have
past
something to
700
compel it
points, do you?
into. Yeah, really, which is kind of an issue.
It's
Yeah.
not loads of models. It's expensive models for what you're paying for, and then it's got little might. You have a drum that only affects half your army if you ally in it. It's just I personally think Isengard pure is better than Easterlings because the only reason the Emperor just doesn't work outside of it because the points he's so many points that you need the 3 points and the rerolls with Rutabi and stuff to really make
If
it
you're
work.
looking at, say, Isengard across lots of different points levels, because we're saying that Isengard is, really good at middle of the pack at lots of points levels. I don't know how Eastlings sort of aren't. I mean, they're sort of fairly similar.
Well, I mean, the Eastlings won into the West now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
Ben's run
No, they didn't. They
Easterlings
came
Pure
It's
third.
third.
with Rutabi and
Sorry,
Brogir, and that's really good.
Yeah, so that's third. That's third place. I think it was like I want to say it was like 29-ish models with Brogir and Rutabi and Drum. Like that was
Yeah,
when
it's still
yeah.
that's still really good.
I've
Yeah,
seen
it's-
like a list online, you could take like Emperor, Amda, Brogir, for example, like Amda. I think the issue with the old Easterlings before the Emperor was that, you know, Amda's the leader, so you want to be chucking him in there to get value out of all his rules, but then he's your leader. But now he's a really good hero assassin with the banner, the free strike, essentially, blood and glory, like elven weapon. He's got lots going for him.
Pure Easterlings definitely
He's
better than
only D6.
Isengard.
He is
Definitely.
only, yeah. I think like they're a D6, you know, fight for essentially fairly decent courage, especially when you're broken.
But it is a lot of points. Those 2 points to make him a black dragon, it makes the models really expensive.
The black dragon thing outside the Legion is. I know Clubby's a person that the black dragon upgrade. I think he said is one of the worst upgrades in the game.
Shout out to David Clubley.
Yeah. And anytime I saw like a post about it, he said ages ago, and he said like outside the Legion he'll never ever pay for Black Dragon because it's not worth it.
No,
fair enough.
2 points for an upgrade is really
it's so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, what a Black Dragon pikeman with a shield is 11 points, 12 points.
11, I think.
11.
Yeah, 11.
11. Okay, so an Urukai pikeman is 10.
Yeah, but they're strength 3.
Yeah, but they're D5 pikemen, and they get trapped when you know.
You can also have a 12-inch banner potentially on all those pikemen.
Vince, your passion for Isengard being trash is actually like it transcends. It's like your sole purpose. I reckon you must have mentioned like why is Isengard so bad once every single pod you've been on, and I respect it because what it means is that Isengard will get a really good legendary legion that doesn't involve ballistas coming soon due to your efforts.
They definitely deserve one.
They've already got what, like 4 or 5 legions. I'm not sure they need another
I'm
one.
not sure they do.
No, it'd be called the Vince Isengard, and it'll be like Lurtz, he'll be strength 10, 5 attacks.
Lurtz gets, he gets a warg, he gets free hero
gets
combat.
2 will. It's cooking.
6 will.
Flying Lurtz across the board. Oh, it's just the Vince Legion.
No, fuck it, give him a Fell Beast.
Lurtz on Velby.
Instantly kills Boromir. If Boromir's on the board, you just remove him. If Lurtz is across the table.
Yeah, so like I don't know. I feel that I think it's still going to be a fairly consistent high defense army. You'll be able to get a fair amount of models still, even with the Emperor. I think obviously a really good thing about the Emperor is that you get the banner with the fight 5. Obviously, you're not going to be getting that, so I get that that's a fairly big drawback. But you've also got the new additions of not only Emperor but Retabi and Guldur as well in the normal Easting list that wasn't there before. I think it's got a lot going for it. Maybe not bottomlessly nervous, like I said before, but I'd personally put it above Isengard.
Yeah, above Isengard.
Yeah, I agree.
Nervous.
I'm happy with it to go above Isengard.
Nervous.
Looks like we're there. So above Isengard, but in nervous. Yeah, I think it's still got a lot going for it. So, okay, moving on. We have Moria. Quite an interesting one here.
This is interesting.
Yeah, because you see that Balrog picture, you think, oh, the Balrog's so bad. There's other models that exist in that faction.
Black Shield Shamans.
Do we think the Balrog is better than the Necromancer, though?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, probably.
I remember
the Necromancer.
if you go back to our Legendary Legion tier list, there was a slight argument around the depths of Moria's Legendary Legion, if I do remember.
That was a
Yeah, I
lit
think-
episode, I'm not gonna lie. We should maybe film that again and see if things have changed. Very funny.
Where does Moria go?
Moria.
How
Moria
often does
is-
the Watcher push it up?
Maybe we should call in the Lord of Moria to this.
Oh, yes! Elliot. Shout out to Craig Cameron.
Had to be done.
Lord of
Craig
Moria.
Cameron. Shout out,
That was
Podbean
brilliant.
Matthews.
That was
big from you.
insanely typical from you earlier. Fair play.
Pirates.
We should get Craig on. I'm sure he'd want to come on.
I like Moria. Moria's got loads of options.
Is it above
Yeah.
Goblin Town? Was it below?
I do like that they got a Legion that's competitive, so you see them kind of more. I do like that they're around now because they're very OG models and things. So it's cool.
Can we name some events? It's one. or been a part of allies, then it's
Armors, Watcher, one.
Watcher.
Yeah,
Yeah,
taking
what's
it
Fell
out.
Winter this weekend. That high quality
true.
90-point event.
Yeah.
That
Wait,
is
so
Is that the
those
one that
points?
half
Or
the
with
players
6
podium?
players.
Yeah, the six-player nervous one.
half the people podium. Wow,
That's a stat right there.
that is upsetting.
Yeah, when you take away the legions, it really does kind of like when you just said like name events that it's done well at, you automatically think to legions. But as a pure list, don't know.
Like,
I kind of feel it does belong in Silly Nervous, but below Goblin
Really?
Town.
Interesting.
you just
but-
don't see the Goblin Horde spam a lot anymore,
I don't
really.
see it. I remember kind of when I first got into the game, like the first couple tournaments I went to, I played it maybe 2 or 3 times, but I'm not sure I've really seen it at all since then. And obviously, I've been to like 40 tournaments since then. So
Yeah, I
It
mean-
just doesn't charge terror, as
No.
Vince has alluded to.
Like
Yeah, you've got
taking
shamans.
Cerberus, Groblog, Shaman, Captain, Black Shield Shaman, like, and then having whatever 60 models or something, 55 models, and maybe a god knows what points level. Like that is
yeah, I've played
Yeah.
some.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
It
sounds
is,
actually
but
right
you don't
on
have a
paper.
banner
Doesn't sound
unless
that
you
bad.
have the drum. So
yeah. You just sack off the banner. You basically just hope you try and storm as best as possible and get the +1 fight and traps and prowlers and stuff. Like it's a different
Yeah.
play style to a lot of lists.
I think that is what holds it back a lot if running it that way, because then it struggles to then actually use its dice more effectively while outnumbering. So
Mm.
Where does the Watcher bring it up to? I'd say like it's
It
pretty
brings
good.
it up to Silly Nervous as
Yeah.
opposed to above Goblin Town.
There has been a bit of Watcher fever lately in the GBHL, hasn't there?
it has.
Shout out Jobby.
Like, I would personally rather play. I would rather play against.
James. Bolt.
I'd rather play Moria than like I think Moria's above the Easterlings as just a pure faction,
Oh,
Yes.
definitely.
Okay.
and then the Watcher goes, yeah, just knocks it up 1. I think,
Mm.
just because that model is so cursed and can be incredibly oppressive against with the right combinations and stuff.
Yeah, we are seeing it a lot lately, and it is really good. I've yet to
Watcher
be...
does do oppression.
In certain situations, you can't actually play against it.
What, the Watcher?
Yeah.
Then you just can't do anything against it.
So if it comes down and that player wins the move off,
Yeah, if it comes down, that's already quite a drawback.
It's only a 3 up though.
You mean if it comes up? It comes
Only
up
on
out of
3
the
up. Oh no!
It's not coming down from the sky. It's not
Coming
going
It just
down from the
falls
sky.
It doesn't drop in like a thunderbird.
Lurks on a
Paratroopers.
Chelby.
Parachuting down.
Parachuting Watcher.
Yeah. Yeah, I know
Oh,
what you're
yeah.
saying. Is like he can just pick off your hero so easily. Even if you charge it, he can still like
Vince,
suck you in.
I've had Jobby roll a 6 3 turns in a row for the to hit, and then he hit on 5 out of 6 every time. So he was sucking in 5 troops a turn. Oh, 15 dead models. Oh shit.
Oh, I just walked into it with the ring on and went, lol, try kill me.
When I played Jobby, the Watcher killed no models because the Mouth and the Witch King successfully kept it transfixed the entire game.
That's it. So we're thinking bottom of Silly Nervous, underneath Goblin Town.
Yeah.
Yeah. However, I don't know if Sam wants to reveal his unbelievably Chad trick of how to make the Watcher impervious to magic, or if you're saving that for the tabletop.
Resolve.
is that just
Against-
Gerber's resolving?
Oh,
Yeah.
Alan, you've
Oh!
exposed
Such a
How does that make
crazy
it
trick.
I think it's so
Oh.
crazy.
It already has resistance to magic, doesn't it?
Sam's
Yeah, but
joking.
it's
And
not
that
enough.
doesn't help.
It's not enough when you play certain lists.
How many will does it have?
5.
5.
5.
Yeah, so it's already one of the best models in the game at resisting magic.
Yeah, it's still pretty good.
Against double
5
cast,
will resistant to magic.
Pretty
Against double cast, with no might. It is.
Thing is though, when you needed to do stuff and they roll 1 and a 3, or like Witch King rolls 2 dice and they transfix on a 6, you're then thinking, oh shit, how many dice do I have to
Yeah.
spend here with 1 might? Because you can't
Yeah.
might any of the rolls realistically.
And once the wheel's gone,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
gone. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You need
All
the
go.
resolve getting 2 free
So
dice.
you've got a Witch King and a mouth. The Witch King rolls 3 dice to transfix the Watcher with a reroll, gets a 6, or gets a 5, spends a might to get a 6. Realistically, do you roll 3 will from the Watcher and 1 resistant to magic, or 2 will
You
from
just
the
chuck
Watcher?
your resistant at it and
No,
hope you're the
resistant.
6.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, but why is it like,
That can't be viable when the Watcher is that's the
Yeah.
piece that is
People
needed.
are saying
Yeah.
that's how you make
Yeah.
it competitive. Just chuck your resist and get us.
Just,
You need-
just roll
Yeah.
the stakes. Easy.
I mean, that's your only real option in that situation. So
no, you've
That's what you
heroic
do.
Yeah, we're
resolve
saying-
with Durbert.
because either that or you're doing nothing for the rest of the game. So
I could see an argument for Moria to actually maybe be above Goblin Town, just because of
I
the-
personally do think
So-
it is above Goblin Town.
Yeah.
So apart from the Watcher, what else do we like about
I
Moria?
actually like the dragon as well, to be fair.
What if the Watcher
dragon?
wasn't?
Dragon's really cool, but I wouldn't say it's.
No, the dragon's shit.
I think there may
People like
be
cave
a
drakes.
list that you could cook up.
I love a cave dragon.
A
Cave
fly.
drakes are good. That's a good shout.
James, do you have one there by chance? You usually do.
I actually don't. They're in
The-
Portsmouth, sadly.
Sam, the
got
dragon
2 though.
is terrible.
I reckon. I was talking to David Coleman about this. I actually reckon there's a list you could cook up that is with a dragon with fly and breathe fire that could actually.
Yeah, maybe if you're in an Irish event.
Costs like 500 points.
James
Of
Goble.
course, David Coleman's on about that.
Only 350.
Yeah, and then the
Well,
dragon just gets. Yeah, but if you can sap will that dragon, then you've just wasted 50 points.
James
Yeah.
Goble, did you just say you have 2 dragons?
No. Cave drakes, yeah.
Cave drakes. I thought in the last podcast you said you didn't own an evil model.
Oh, bringing out the.
We found a liar.
One of them is mine, but what James did
Yeah.
buy the other.
Cave drakes are good.
I actually
I rate
also
cave drakes.
own Yazneg,
Ah,
Bastard.
but
Looks
yeah,
like a shit then, James.
no armies.
carry on, lads.
James's reputation has been put in the plug hole.
And then we just do a vote for either above Goblin King or below Goblin King.
Goblin Town or Goblin King?
Yeah, it's the Goblin Town, that model there on the screen.
Adam trolling.
I think
I
vote
like Goblin
below.
Town with a dragon with breathe fire.
Yeah.
Are we seriously talking about whether a dragon is putting it above or below?
I reckon, I'm saying
Yes, we
800
are.
points. I reckon there could be a dragon pretty nervous list you can make with some,
run it,
with some
Sam.
weird allies potentially.
Nah, this is going to end how I did with Sam's original take on the Watcher. Not well.
Watch me buy a dragon and take it next year. Can't
I
wait.
totally bought a dragon for Jay. Jay totally has a dragon.
Might have to. I'm gonna use dragon. I'm like
Maybe Jay's already cooking that up.
exactly.
I played his mate. What was his name? I can't
Camille.
remember. Polish guy, Camille, with a dragon, very nicely painted. Yeah, which
I vote above Silly Nervous personally. Ash
I
votes
also vote above.
So 2-1. Vince,
I think it's below Goblin Town. Silly knows. Yeah.
Elliot,
I'm gonna go below.
below then.
It's going below.
Adam doesn't get a vote.
Why did Adam get a vote? Yeah.
Because it's 4-2, right?
No, I would have voted there anyway. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
We will move on to the Dark Denizens of Mirkwood. Sorry, we've put Moria for the audio listener underneath Goblin Town in Silly Nervous.
Is this just the Fellowship of Evil? Like, is this just Lemon because it's so good as ally, and that's it?
So I
Mm.
don't think the Spider
Yeah, but
Queen
it's only got
is
one model,
lemon as
basically.
Yeah, I'm not sure you can say the Spider Queen is lemon.
I think as
Spider
a
Queen is
model
a
herself,
good-
she is lemon.
It's above
But,
the Goblin thingy.
100%. But it's just like, as it can have some hard counters and you have to be incredibly careful. Like it's got a fair amount of weaknesses. Obviously, it's got a lot of strengths, but
I'd agree. There's a lot of way to mitigate the weaknesses when you ally, but
yeah, you do still just like one bad roll or whatever can suddenly see you go, oh shit.
like realistically, you take the Shadow Lord, that kind of source-ish. You're shooting
You do be squishy.
problem out, and then you take
Squishy and low courage.
if you take double Wraith or even triple Wraith, you're then sorting out, like, it's hard for people to just consistently potentially transfix the queen when they're getting 3 transfixes at their wraith thrown at them a turn. Like, that limits their resources a fair bit. Like,
yeah,
there's her weakness is she just does insta win some scenarios. So
Yeah, like there are some really strong strengths, but then like there aren't many other heroes of her price in the game where you roll a 2 high on 3 dice and you're like, oh shit,
I'm not on the board anymore.
yeah, like, and that could happen turn 1 or turn 2. Like, you know, it's not that out the realms of possibility. Like, how many times do you roll a 2 or 3 high or whatever? You know, totally
I'm not opposed to top of Silly Nervous, but I can definitely see an argument for bottom of Lemon.
Yeah, I think
as a mod in general.
I see the argument as yeah, there are, but then it's also, I guess, like, obviously allying in the Spider Queen is part of the equation, but then obviously we are looking at the army as well.
Yeah.
You know,
it's not a bad army though. Even if you
no,
run just as
no,
it's pretty good.
It's pretty much
it's probably like it's a nervous army as a pure list, I'd say.
Yeah, and then if the Spider Queen is an argument to put it in Lemon, I think it probably rounds out around top of Silly Nervous.
Yeah,
very good.
I think
I agree with that. Top of Silly Nervous.
I think that kind of makes sense. So we're putting it above Goblin Town, sort of probably the tippy top of Silly Nervous by the end, but we'll see where things move. Okay, moving on, we have Far Harad, camels.
Vinny pointed out something the other day on this. Go on, Vinny.
No, I was just wondering, the army bonus, I thought it affected all warrior models, but actually only affects Mahud warriors. Is that correct? Like it only affects the guys at the blowpipes.
No, it affects half trolls.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure it affects them all.
It does. Yeah. It does affect the half trolls. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Does it?
Yeah.
Because if you read the army bonus, it says Mahud warrior in bold. So whenever they put something in bold, doesn't that refer to that particular model?
Do they not have the Mahud keyword?
Mahud warrior models.
No. It doesn't say Mahud keyword, it says Mahud warrior in bold.
Everyone I've played against has played it as
yeah, you are. Yeah. Usually that is right. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, well, they've been cheating.
Potentially.
I think that makes Far Harad way worse if it's that interpretation, because half trolls of courage too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So do they literally only mean Mahud warriors and not like the Mahud raiders, for example?
Yeah, it doesn't say Mahud warrior keyword. It says Mahud warrior in bold.
Well, it would be the Mahud keyword, but yeah, where they've put Mahud warrior in bold, that is the name of a profile.
Yeah, that is the model Mahud warrior.
Yeah. There's a profile named Mahud warrior. You've got Mahud raiders and half trolls. I'm inclined to agree with you. Is there an FAQ? Let me see.
I feel like there's a lot of rules like this in the game, and some of them decided one way, some of the other, so it's hard to know.
There's another example with Mordor Orc.
Yeah.
I think only affects like the Mordor Orc profile and not like everything that's got Mordor and Orc in like the keywords, because it would specify.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm not gonna lie. There isn't an FAQ on it, and yeah, it specifically says Mahud warrior models and not. Yeah, so maybe that's not a revelation to lots of our viewers. Who knows? But
yeah, can someone smart let us know down in the comments whether we're correct or not?
It definitely is that. It has to be. It's just I didn't know that because
because I don't think it's that ambiguous if you read it.
No, I don't think it is at all, and there isn't an FAQ on it. Like there are plenty other examples where it will say the same sort of thing. Because keyword, but it doesn't say that.
Because I always assumed it was that. Like I always assumed it was all the warrior models, but I just never read it.
What be the question?
The
question was the Mahud, the Far Harad army bonus. Does it affect all warriors or just the Mahud warrior model profile?
I thought it was all of them.
Yeah, I don't think so. because if you read the actual entry, it says Mahud warrior in bold, not like any warrior with the Mahud keyword.
You might have just ruined Dewey
Does.
Evans' life.
But it also says Mahud hero, which suggests them also. I'm guessing the warrior would also. I think it's just a coincidence, the fact that the Mahud warrior is simply called Mahud warrior.
Does the
Well, no, it's
They
called
They do
Mahud
specifically
warrior.
have the Mahud keyword, and I don't think they would otherwise.
so does the half troll have the Mahud keyword?
Yeah, it does.
Then it definitely includes half trolls.
Yeah, because I don't think they'd have included that otherwise.
Yeah.
Are we sure?
Yeah.
I can see Vince's point, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are we still talking about the rule?
Yeah, Ash thinks it would affect half trolls.
I do
Why?
agree. I think it
Why?
does.
Sorry.
I also think it does, because otherwise I've had like 10 different people
Why?
play it the other way, which seems
Because
pretty crazy.
Mahud warrior it means the Mahud keyword.
But it doesn't say that.
No,
and
that's-
it
it
says
doesn't, though.
keyword in plenty other situations that are the same with an army bonus.
There is a model called Mahud warrior, and
I think that's the
why
first
would we
thing,
think it
yeah.
affects
It
anything
would,
other than that?
it would just say models with the Mahud and warrior keywords.
Yeah, it would say that.
Or sorry, warrior
Hmm.
is a keyword. Yeah, it would say, but like it doesn't. Or if there was a comma between the two or something, but it says Mahud warrior.
Especially because it's in bold as well.
Yeah. That's the
So-
Because
I
there
think
are
it's
other-
bold just to show that it's an important part of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
there-
but
yeah, but
it's
there are other
referencing another
army-
part of the book.
Yeah, but there are other army bonuses where it says about like models that have
like
Mordor keyword, for example. Like if it was in that same category, it would follow that same.
I'll give you another example. It's like Fury. It says Fury like Mordor orc or whatever. So it only affects Mordor orcs, but doesn't necessarily affect every single model with Mordor and orc keywords.
I think
That's a good point.
I'm gonna take it as it's written, and I think
Wait, no, because Fury Mordor Orc also affects Morannons.
Yeah. I was just about to say that.
don't they have the they have
And they have the Mordor and the Orc
I don't know
keyword,
how.
so
That was just an example on top of my head. I don't know how Fury's worded exactly, but
No, but Vinny, your counterpoint, your other point about Razgush was correct.
that was me.
yeah, there has to be another example where it refers to what it says.
I think
like,
Razgus is the only exception for the way it's written. Everywhere else, it encompasses everything with the keyword, whereas Razgush is a specific example which doesn't, I think.
Let us know in the comments below if we're being thick as pig shit or if it's ambiguous. Because I think we'll be talking about this for at least another 2 hours otherwise.
basically, does Harad belong in Silly Nervous or Dog?
It's instantly ambiguous and we're...
I don't think it's ambiguous at all.
Yeah, but it
Oh,
clearly
no.
is.
As written, it's
It definitely
completely
is.
not ambiguous.
We're just going to be going around.
I don't know.
and
If you read it, if you didn't know anything about this game and you read it, I think it's fine. You just read it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think if
Basically,
you-
you'd
yeah,
read
but
it and be like, okay, which
you'd be like, oh, that
profile
would
is called
encompass all of them
Mahud
then.
Warrior?
Yeah, but it would say
Wait,
the
you're
Mahud
adding,
warrior
like,
model,
stipulations,
whereas it
like
says
keywords
Mahud
and stuff.
warriors. So
True, James. Let us know.
I love how Vince is out here dragging every other army down to Isengard.
You belong in
we
Nervous.
still can't manage it.
So where are we putting Farhad? I don't think we actually talked about where we're ranking it yet.
Well, it depends, doesn't it? On that army
Yeah,
bonus.
we haven't actually spoken about the army at all.
No. I'm
The Mahud King is a lemon hero. As it allies well, I think it's a silly nose list. I think it's better than Moria, not as good as Goblin Town. However, if Vince has his way and manages to break the hearts of many a Farhad player, then it does become dog.
Is it really above Moria? Like,
I'm not sure it is.
when I see Moria, I literally just think of: is it above Watcher lists? Is Farhad lists above Watcher lists? And I don't know.
They've won a fair amount of events.
Yeah, but I think that's
I'm
only
inclined
really
to say they are.
I mean, that is. I think it's only really with the Serpent Horde ally when you have Betrayer, because that makes the thingies better. But
Well, yeah, but if you had a pure Moria watch list, it would be dog. So
Yeah, great. And you said all I think about is when I think of Moria, is it better than a watch it list?
yeah. But like,
When we're talking about
that
Farhad,
was a terrible point.
Yeah.
when it comes to points levels as well, like, admittedly, you watch a
Yeah,
list,
they work at
are
lots of-
thingy, but then Farhad is usually mid points where you fill out those warbands.
you can we're totally evaluating Farhad how it is when you ally it with the Betrayer
Yeah. But then also pure.
part of it. Yeah.
And it can be run pretty well both. So
Yeah,
Let's take a vote.
Silly nervous. Yeah. I'm gonna go bottom of silly nervous or top of nervous. I'm not too fast.
Me and James are saying it's above Moria.
Above
Sam is saying it's
Moria.
below.
yeah.
Vince, I don't know where he's going to probably say it's.
No, I'm gonna say
Ashley Walker.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say it really depends on that army bonus. If we're assuming, that it does affect, half
Yeah.
We're
of
going to assume it does.
If we assume it does, I think it's a really good list.
Is it going above or below Moria? Right.
Above Moria.
Above. Adam, what's your view?
Adam gets a vote this time.
Adam's cracked open a cold one.
Yeah, I thought I'd leave that argument halfway through.
Are you going above or below Moria? Adam?
I think it's a really good ally. So actually ignoring, I mean, imagine like having a couple of Mahud Kings allied in with Witch King or Saruman. It's pretty cool. Or with normal Serpent Horde. I'd put them bottom of silly nervous for that.
Above or below Moria was the
Adam just didn't listen.
Well, he said the bottom, so
Yeah,
surely
you did
it's
say
below.
bottom.
I mean, yeah.
I don't mind it being above. To be honest, I don't.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be
to be
above.
honest, I don't really mind.
It's one space. It's just a topic of discussion. That's all.
And that's not the
You
passion
must
we need
decide.
yeah. Adam,
What's happened, mate?
It's all
Have we
hinging on
ground
your
you down over
going
these
above
days?
or below.
No, it's just is I personally I'm asking the question to myself rhetorically, and I don't know. So I don't really care if it's above or below. To be honest,
Currently 3 in favour of. Is it
Let's
above?
just put it
No,
above.
I'm losing
It's
count.
going above then.
Going above. Moving on to another army, another faction, we have Angmar.
I think this
Lemon.
is a lemon evil faction.
Lemon.
Yes. Lemon, yeah.
The main Angmar player in the group grimaces at the thought of.
Someone who's just used it for the first time. Maybe not the most optimal way, even though. But I don't think it's lemon. I'd put it below the Spider Queen.
Sam really be thanking.
Can't even see Sam's face.
I agree with James, but I think the Spider Queen would go. I just see the Spider Queen as lemon and Angmar as top of city nervous because of. But then,
I don't think the Spider Queen's lemon.
Well, it's the army as a
what's
whole,
your
so the
problem with
Spider Queen
Angmar?
herself would be, but
Angmar is really good, but again, it's the points limit it works at. It's you need a lot for it to do for it to work.
it's
Like
fairly
you need all the
limited, and
tools.
I'd say currently it's not that great.
Yeah, it
into
doesn't
a
do
lot
well
of
into
armies.
a lot of the terror. I mean, it does have terror itself with double harbinger if you're taking Guldur, which you always are realistically.
No, but
I've
it's a
never-
pretty solid option.
I've never really been a fan of the spam birder lists.
But
What's the lowest sort of points you can run Witch King, Gulliver, X, Captain?
If you want to win the event, I'd say 700. Like, I mean, to be fair, I think there's a few 650 lists where people run Witch King, Gulliver, Barrow-White at like Ardacon and stuff, and they do pretty well. So
Yeah.
maybe 650, but that's pushing it, I think.
Yeah.
Especially with the Gulliver change to shooting and stuff.
650 to 800 isn't, that bad a range to be at. I mean, what if you're going the same amount of points in the opposite direction? You're going down to 500. So it's essentially halfway, sort of in the spectrum of lists, right? Which isn't a bad place to be.
I'd say it's
It's
probably
750 plus.
I'd say it's quite above halfway with where the points and events have been this year. 650 to 800 has
Especially
been the
this year.
majority.
Yeah, this year as well. Yeah, I'd agree.
James, is there any way you can turn up your mic at all?
Yeah, you weren't quite.
You just muted
Quiet.
yourself completely now.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not opposed to it being lemon. I can see it being City Nerves, like top of City Nerves as well, though, just because of current meta, I guess.
I think Barrow-Wights are so good for 50 points. And the Spectres.
God, I'm so 50-50 on Barrow because they are amazing, but they're also sometimes so bad.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I
Can really
experienced.
be. Yeah.
Generally, the best bit about Barrow is the army bonus.
Yeah. No lie. Yeah.
No, they got the best spell in the game.
Yeah,
They're the
but-
only model that to cast the best
Sam,
spell in the game.
this spell
Don't cast
literally
half
makes
the time.
children cry.
You're not wrong.
It's
You're
such
really
a good
not.
spell.
It's like it is. I'm not saying it's not saying it's a good spell, but the army bonus for it is.
It is really good to
It's
extend.
always there.
It's really good.
It's always.
No, I'm not
there.
saying that army bonus is not good, but the spell.
Yeah, the
You've
spell
got
is good, but you
5 will with a 6-inch range.
Yeah,
with
the
a
6-inch
4+.
range can really hurt it, and like Jutho 2 and then 3 will at the last one. You throw 2. You know, it's not unreasonable to not maybe get a 4+ or 4 high.
It's only
And
a 4+. Got 5 will.
I've totally had them just not.
I had a game at the
Yeah.
weekend where I failed to cast it.
Like you spend 2 will, and then you roll a 4 and a 3 or 4 and a 2, and then they spend maybe. They maybe spend, they're like, okay, it's only a 4. I'll spend 1 will and then spend might on it to resist it if I roll a 2. And then it's like,
Yeah, but they're also, fighting off magic from the Witch King as well. So like it all kind of works together,
yeah.
doesn't it?
But again, there's other heroes in that list, not just that one. Like, it's either Lemon or City Nervous, like top of City Nervous. I'm not denying that.
Also, as well, with the amount of armies at the moment that may potentially be trying to get Fearless into the list, does that maybe make Angmar worse? Because that's essentially its whole thing, right? Like, especially before kind of Witch King Sully was such a big thing and more people have started taking Fearless. That's when Angmar, I think, was probably at its best, kind of like early-ish last year, like where it podiumed a fair amount of hundreds and stuff. Like that was before kind of we had this terror sort of meta kind of thing that we have now, kind of.
I'd say we're seeing slightly more Arnor as well, which is like horrendous for
True.
it.
Like against Terror, it's not great because it's carries 1 everywhere if you're Harbinger. It's all fight 3d5. Like and against Fearless, it's loses
its best thing.
Hard port of it.
And then what really is it? It's Witch King Gulliver, but the troops will just melt. Like obviously that's its maybe worst matchup, right? If it runs into Fearless, but there's maybe more of that around at the moment, so that makes it worse in a way.
Flying Monster change, Gulliver being Coach 3 with Harbinger. It's still really good, but I think in just current
We can put it.
current meta, it's just
Put it top of Silly Nervous, better than Spider Queen.
Yeah, Sam thought like Spider Queen should be in Lemon and Angmar top Silly Nervous, but I can't really justify putting it underneath a singular model, essentially.
And the Spider Queen isn't like for the Spider Queen to single-handedly put Dark Denizens in Lemon. The Spider Queen would have to be overpowered, like massively overpowered, and she isn't. She is very deep. She is very.
Yeah, Spider Queen's not OP.
I think the
She's
Spider Queen is better than the Angmar list, like as a whole, because the Angmar list is very, very strong. Where the Spider Queen.
I don't think the model has to be OP to put in Lemon though.
But if it's that one model,
Well, that would help.
Single-handedly.
Yeah, obviously it's helping.
Vince is
all
on
models
fire.
OP.
But if that one model is basically single-handedly putting it into Lemon, then it's got to be something pretty ridiculous.
The Spider Queen is good, but
Spider Queen is pretty ridiculous.
It is pretty ridiculous.
Often she comes with a bat as well.
Like,
Yeah.
Is she going to single-handedly put?
I mean,
A
she
pretty
single-handedly
poor
wins a lot of
faction.
games, so yeah.
like she is pretty ridiculous. She's arguably just wins recon. It's kind of hard to stop a 23-inch moving fucking little brutelings. Unless you line your entire board, and then you march with her as well, so it goes even further. Like, and then destroy supplies, same thing. Hurl's just against any any battle line is good, and yeah, she.
I mean, it sounds like everyone's
Glory is pretty good, but we didn't put them in Lemon.
Yeah, but a lot of people said I know like if the argument for Gwai was one of the models that's won the most of like Poden hundreds and stuff. And I thought isn't that one of like the parameters for it being like whatever?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it totally is.
I wouldn't be surprised if Spider Queen's relatively high up there as well.
I mean, I think the Spider Queen will be in the top 3 of the.
Yeah,
but I just don't think the faction.
Yeah, we
the
are
11th faction. We are doing a faction tier.
Yeah, what I was saying is
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
it's such a niche faction. Like it is only that model, basically. That's any competitive point of it.
It's not though. Really. Like I get what you're saying, but like ultimately, it's whether the Spider Queen puts the entire faction into lemon. Like we were sort
which
of
it doesn't.
The faction is nervous. The Spider Queen's maybe lemon, so it levels out around where we put it. I don't think one model can pull an entire faction. I think that's what Ash was saying. It would have to be really OP to
It would have to literally be like
back up an entire faction. Yeah. So I think where we put it is good, and it looks like we're agreeing on putting Angmar above it at the very top of Silly Nervous, where we have it at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, sure.
Adam, happy with that?
Sure.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, moving on. We have Azog's Legion.
I think you should give us a little bit about Azog's Legion as you're, the man.
Just looking at the sort of rankings, I mean, obviously we've got things like Moria, but something like Moria has a specific kind of list with the Watcher that maybe kind of drags it up. I think it's maybe similar to like Easterlings and Isengard, where at a fair amount of points levels, I think you could probably put something fairly good together, but it doesn't excel at any one particular points level. Obviously, we're not looking at pits. It's got good ally potential. Like I think you can take Azog and a full warband of Gundabads or whatever with a couple warbats or a couple berserkers, whatever, and then you can fill out numbers from Azog's hunters with the really good value heroes in Azog's hunters. So I think his allies are really good. It's green with Guldur, but you're not really getting anything out of that because the troops you can get from Azog's hunters or Azog Legion anyway. It's a shame just that a lot of the list has really good, nice Forge World models, but you never see any of them just because they're not really that good. So that's a shame, but I think it's pretty middle of the pack, right? Like same as Isengard, it's got fairly bog standard troops. Obviously the heroes are great in Azog and Bolg, but it doesn't really have enough extra and game winning potential to kind of push it into kind of silly nervous. I don't think. What do you guys think?
It's definitely worse than the hunters.
We haven't ranked them yet.
They play
but
different. Yeah, they're very different kind of lists. But I think in a vacuum, yeah, for sure.
In a vacuum, I think you're right. It's
just so top heavy. Like it's just
Goblin mercenaries, guys.
Goblin mercs and bats.
Goblin mercenaries.
Bats are really good.
They are the only real great things about it. I mean, Azog's obviously an awesome model, but he's just often not that great within Azog's Legion itself. I feel like if you can take him, you just take pits.
I mean, he does get Master of Battle, which is pretty.
Yeah. If you're looking at the whole thing, it's nervous. But then, when I see Azog's Legion, it literally, to me, it's just bats and Goblin mercs.
Yeah, occasionally there's a Gundabad captain or something. But...
Yeah, who's bringing 2 bats with him, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
The rest of the army, maybe.
Yeah,
ogres are good, admittedly, for 60 points.
The ogres are great.
You don't see them because
I don't think the ogres are good. To be fair, they're the cheapest monster in the game, but
they're still not cheap enough.
If you're spending,
make them 40 points.
You're spending
they'd be spammed if they were 40 points. They'd be unbelievably good.
We've already had this argument about whether or not a Mordor troll should be 75 points. But
what size base is an ogre? 50.
50, yeah.
Yeah, an 8-inch move and 3 attack.
I'll cut you a deal. 47 points for an ogre.
With a 60, it's like if you're spending 60 points even on one ogre, you need it to do something, right? It can't do nothing. And at 5/5, 3 wounds at D5, it can totally just die before it's.
You can take 12 hobbits, really? What do you want? You've got 12 hobbits.
So I think it's quite easy to get 60 points worth of value out of a monster with 8-inch move.
I can imagine
If
this.
I had an age move, that is pretty good.
I can imagine someone taking like spam Azog hunters, and then like some Gundabad hero, like a captain or whatever.
Yeah, just like a captain, couple bats,
and then
couple
like
ogres.
4 ogres, and you just have 4 hurls going across all over your thing at an inch move. Like, it's pretty hard to avoid.
Hard to avoid. Yeah.
Pretty gnarly.
No, I have 2. Maybe I should get 2 more. Yeah, I don't know. Like, you don't see them for a reason, right? Along with like the other monsters in the list, the bats are really, really good. The berserkers, I think, are pretty good as well at 8-inch.
Or do you not see them because they're a hidden gem?
I think ogres are
And
good.
with the current battle line, like
Isn't it
meta,
they're bad?
basically, they would be really good. So
Just
like-
having one of them is way worse than having because one is so easy to deal with, i.e., shooting it or magic or whatever. But then having even if you just have 2, that's the damage potential is so much higher. And then if you have an obnoxious man like 4, that is just
the amount of high fight around as well. Like they might not do anything.
yeah. 8-inch move you can maybe pick and choose.
yeah, you should be able to single out a target and with the dice win it.
Yeah, with
And you're
the
still probably going to be at least tied fight, if not higher. So
yeah, tied if not higher in most cases. It's just it's very top heavy. Obviously with like Azog, it's just getting value. Obviously in pits you've got the free combat that's pretty hard to mess up. The martial battle is really, really good. It's a shame that Bolg is not really seen very much. He's just quite easy to nullify in comparison to Azog, which is a shame. I think he probably ends up around middle-ish of nervous.
I don't know. I think it's better. I think it's
above
better.
Easterlings.
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree
I
with Sam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
above there. Yeah.
Because like the mercs and the bats are incredibly good, and like admittedly Will did win the finale, but also didn't win the
Well, yeah.
but
That's essentially like, I guess, to be fair, I think it's better if you're running it not with Azog and you're just taking hunters allied with like a captain and a couple bats and then a merc captain with a few mercs. But it's just that isn't what you think of when you think of Azog's Legion, right? Like,
well, with Moria, you don't think of just the Watcher, and we put it in Silly Nervous like that. You think of the Balrog and that.
it's when you look at the faction, in like the core way it's meant to be ran. But yeah, obviously we put Moria higher.
I think Azog used to be taken a lot more. It's just with the current massive magic, he's just fallen off of it.
Casting is just magic's just
Obviously he's better in pits as well for that reason.
Yeah.
right.
I'm a D7 in the normal faction though, which is nice. Are we happy with him there? Top of nervous? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Adam?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, moving on. We have Khand.
Oh,
Your turn, Sam. I'm going to build my tree.
I do like this. I do like Khand. I do like the list a lot. It's very high points. It's not great, obviously, because magic absolutely rinses them.
Does it absolutely bukkake it? Shout out Vince Wong.
It does. It does.
On the Battle of Newbury preview.
But like at low points, the points they work at, they are pretty good. It's a lot of shooting. The chariots are obnoxious, although if you have too many of them, they can really clog up your lines and be hard to maneuver.
Sorry, Sam. Did I hear that Khand is going to win Into the West in January 2024?
I don't know, buddy. I don't know where you heard that from, but potentially.
Nah, everyone's going to be countering him now.
I heard it through the grapevine.
Everyone's bringing eagles.
Is it going to win? Is it going to win an upcoming Gollum's Gamer Bat Rep tournament? Who
No
knows?
chance.
Potentially.
No chance.
Not when James takes a hero that can Sorcerer's Blast.
Eagles. James takes my Eagles. The thing is, it just doesn't really work at high points. Like there's maybe 450, even like some of the points where you think it might be good at, like 500, 550, like because of the limited troop choice. You basically want to take this all mounted, and because it's either you're paying 8 points or 13 points for your troops, and that's it. No like shields or anything. It's hard to reach that round points level. So you might have to take, say, 10 guys on foot to get the actual 500 points instead of all mounted, which some guys on foot are good to run over in certain situations so your chariot doesn't get charged, but I don't know. I can't really put it in silly nervous because it just isn't. Like,
And what, ally it with Easterlings?
you can go like Hammer and Anvil, Eastling,
Yeah.
High Block, King
You
round the
can
back.
ally it with Amdur.
Yeah. It'd probably be with Tarby is your best bet. Is it above Azog? Probably not. Is it above
Probably
Easterlings?
not.
I'd rather I think I prefer Khan over Easterlings, pure Easterlings to be fair. But that's just me.
I'd say
I'm
they're
not
probably on a
upset.
similar level.
But are you thinking not over pure Isengard? Are you think above pure Easterlings, as in, you would prefer if it was this way and then had Khand in the middle?
Potentially, yeah. I don't rate Easterlings really as a faction without the Legion, to be honest. Apart from if you
I
take
think, unfortunately, Khan has got to be below Isengard, but better than the Necromancer, because at least Isengard and Easterlings can function well at all points.
Yes. Yeah, I think that is sort of part of the...
That is part of the faction analysis, and
Yeah.
it severely lacks over 600 points.
Yeah.
It's just Magic. Like, if you don't play Magic, you have a great time.
Yeah, has it had any recent good performances?
That's what we were looking at.
There's one guy that is an absolute Khand warrior, and I always see him on
Yeah.
long strings. I think he's went like 5-1 at a 700-point tournament or something.
Nice.
But no, to that, I was Chris. No, definitely not.
Yeah.
So I
In
don't mind
such
that.
case, I think it's there below Isengard.
It's
Yeah.
niche. It's a cute army.
It isn't that it doesn't have its merits. It's just, obviously in the grand scheme of all the factions, like it's niche, like you say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it ends up about there. So for the audio listener, it's gone above the Dark Powers of Dol Guldur, but underneath Isengard. Okay.
In the nervous tier.
Now, we currently don't have any lists in Dog or Lemon. Are we going to
This
end
is
up
actually
spreading
Morgan, though.
these around at all? I don't know. Yes, but moving on.
No.
No, they're coming.
Actually, we'll go. Let's get this one in there.
Sharky's Rogues, eh?
Actually, we'll go.
Now this come to me, Ruffians. Dog Waters shout out with the Ruffians. Two podcasts in a row after responding. Hint, while Elliot's not here, don't send him a Danny DeVito dice. Under any circumstances, do not send Elliot a Danny DeVito dice.
Sending me a Danny DeVito dice.
Oh my god, he's listening.
But if you do, send it to the address in the description below.
Do not send it. He does not deserve one.
The amount of Danny sixes you've rolled against me, my friend, I think I do fucking deserve one.
You
It's a
don't.
bit-
Full disclosure, Elliot messaged me the other day saying, "Do you know this Doug Waters guy?" I said, "I'm on a chat with him."
Oh, whoa, hold on. What do you mean, this Doug Waters guy? That was not how it was phrased, because he might be watching this.
Of course he's watching the podcast after being shouted out. He is.
Twice in a row.
Stop telling or, creating a false narrative there, my friend.
I'm just going to find it.
The
Sharky.
I love this. Adam just
Oh, God, the moment where I did
exposing
actually say that, I can't remember.
Sharky and the Ruffians. Ashley tier. Let's go.
Yeah, shout out to Matt Hastings.
Nah, what is it? 18
I don't-
inch
I'm in
transfixed
need of
lemon.
a Danny. Send him my address.
You're not in need of a Danny.
That might be the most
I'll totally take a Danny. Who doesn't want it?
yearning.
It's a me and Ashley cursed Danny DeVito dice.
Yeah, and there's more of them out there. I'll take a Danny. Why not?
No, it's known to be a, oh god, I'm about to see Danny's face. There's
You've
only
got to
two
be
Danny
offered
people.
one.
I
you
want to
know?
roll a Danny against one of you two and watch you.
When I saw
Rumble.
Sam
They're
the
playing
same
Doug,
though.
I turned around and went, "Oh my god, I love Danny DeVito. We watch Always Sunny. This is great." And he goes, "Would you like one?" And I went, That's amazing. Yes, please. I didn't go, oi, could I have a Danny DeVito dice,
No,
mate?
He offered.
You know, that's not.
in his comment on the podcast. He wants to share the Danny DeVito love, and you guys just want to keep it all to yourselves. And
It's all mine, precious.
that is not.
all mine.
It's our cursed Danny DeVito's.
That is not capable of you guys.
No. Nah. Yeah, I'll put in Ashley Walker and let's move on.
That is an Ashley Walker take from you two, I must say.
Yeah, it's really not. Everyone's agreed.
It is.
Moving
on, we
Noise.
have Mordor.
Lemon, put it there.
Lemon. Let's go.
Way too many heroes. Give other factions love, please. Thank you.
Give other factions.
Yeah, we need more Mordor.
Oh yeah, my bad. More Mordor, please. CW.
Mordor legendary.
More Mordor. Make Mordor trolls 10 points.
Buff Mordor.
Make the crown free. Let's just do that.
Let's make Black Numbs 3 points.
Black Numbs
Thumbs
actually
out.
needs to be courage 7 as well. Think about it.
There are a few
They
changes.
fail well too many courage tests. Actually, courage 8 with the army
Strength
bonus.
5.
My bad.
The Blackguard should be better.
Yeah, they should be.
Honestly, in this fight 5 meta, Black Numbers needs to be fight 5 as well. Like they're really slacking. KMT.
I think Ring Race should get 3 Fell Beast upgrades, no?
They should just come standard. You have to pay to take a Fell Beast.
Only if taken with Lurtz, though.
On horse, yeah. Lurtz gets a 3 Fell Beast upgrade, yeah. That's tappable. Yeah, it's Mordor. I mean, for, if there was potentially someone quite new to the game listening, what is so good about Mordor?
Everything. Great value heroes, great value troops, good magic.
Great magic.
Yeah.
The best magic.
Yeah, insane variety.
Yeah.
It has an incredible troop list,
Point levels, everything.
troop
Now, Jamie,
variety.
You just
It
said about
works
the variety, though, in the magic. It would be cool if we saw more of the named race, because like they're really cool profiles and everything, and it's like
The name rates do genuinely need to be better.
It's just like it would be cool if you went to an event and this person had this one. It buffs this
Especially the
type of
Witch
list.
King. He needs to
The
be
name rates
better.
are good. That's the thing. But the Witch King is just way better.
I think maybe you have to make the Witch King a bit worse.
The Witch King should be made worse, not the race.
I think
be
I'd
made
rather
better.
have no one use a Witch King, but there be 3 of the named ones which are all viable for different reasons. Like that'd be
They
way
are
The
viable.
Shadow Lord's very viable.
They are viable
The
now.
Betray
The
is
Witch King is just
viable.
so much better.
That's what I'm saying. So that therefore makes them like less viable. I'm just saying that if you make the Witch King way worse,
You just despawn the Witch King.
yeah,
I
then
think we've all
Yeah,
agreed.
Witch King needs enough.
will
I
the
think
If
Witch
you
we've all
nerf the Witch
agreed
King,
in a change to the
you
Witch
cut the
King,
race.
either the crown be 40 points or you separate the crown into 2 different aspects, the magic and the fighting aspect.
Yeah.
Now, will the Witch King ever be nerfed? Ever?
I highly
It has
doubt
to
it.
be.
I
No.
do not think so.
But not in this edition of the game.
I
No.
don't think it needs to be nerfed when it comes to Angmar. I think it just needs
It also doesn't necessarily need to be nerfed just with Mordor. If you play Mordor pure, it's as if after we've passed over everyone's favorite trolls and we get to the next faction, maybe there's a combination that is just rather good.
I mean, let's go to the trolls because that's probably
Did we do I don't think we did Mordor justice for any new listeners. Why it is so lemon?
Come on then, Ashley.
Go on then.
I thought we did.
Come on, mate.
I mean, I think Sam did cover most of the points, but he was very flippant about it.
I don't think we did a very good job of covering that.
I just didn't
It
think he had
seems
any
like Sam hit
passion.
most of the key points.
He hit most of the key points. There is so many good heroes. The Witch King is the best model in the game. The magical powers that they have are oppressive. Their troop variety is fantastic. You've got strength 4 troops. You've got terror causing troops. Their alliance matrix, hint, wink, nod, is fantastic. They've got access to everything in the game: monsters, siege weapons, terror, good shooting, high strength, cavalry models. Like Mordor has everything you could ever possibly want. Great killing heroes, great support heroes. They've got it all. And for that, Mordor is in the lemon tier.
And a good army bonus to go along with it.
And a good army bonus. A really good army bonus.
Now, just to touch on the magic thing again, though, do we think that they could maybe nerf magic in like a new edition, which would then make things like the Witch King worse? Because obviously magic used to be way better from what I heard in a previous edition, and then they nerfed it.
I think magic is still the best
Still
thing.
really, really good. So like, do we see a world where maybe they just make it even worse in a new edition?
Either that or make heroes better at resisting it rather than natural
Yeah,
magic
true.
worse.
Do we think that if the resistant to magic, the resist, do we think that any hero model should get a resistant dice? Do you think that would solve it?
No, I think banners should give you a resist dice, maybe.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Pretty wild.
Because
But I feel like
I feel like
That's all
banners
even
actually
better.
it'd be more appropriate for banners to help you resist magic than to help you win fights. It would make more sense.
Yeah, why do they only buff your?
Well, surely they would buff courage.
Like
if anything.
seeing a banner is not going to help you like win a fight necessarily, but it's going to make you like feel.
it might make you fight harder. I kind
Yeah.
of, I don't like. I think I don't mind the idea of heroes just having a resistance to magic roll for the first spell that they get that is cast
the
upon them.
first one like each turn.
For the first one each turn, if a hero had a resistance to magic roll,
I think that would
Because-
probably be too good.
but it's still just a dice. Like
It is, but you think about it. Like, think about how much like a mind game it is when you see someone's got resistance to magic. You think, oh, maybe actually I won't do that, or maybe I'll spend an extra dice to cast that. It does make a massive difference.
Yeah, it changed a lot.
magic is just very, very, very good. I think it's the best thing in the game.
Yeah, do be mad OP. Okay, moving on. We are going to move on to the trolls from the Hobbit book.
God, I'm going to argue so vociferously that these are dog and not actually Walker. These are actually better than Ruffians.
I agree, they're dog.
This is a shout out to the Monsters
Yippee!
tier list episode where we did compare yours truly, Bert Leach,
You're a
to
troll.
What?
I think
Shout
we
out to
said
Newbert,
Bert,
congratulations.
I think we said Bert the mountain troll was actually better looking.
Bert the mountain troll.
That's so harsh.
That man invited us to his wedding, Ash, and you just called him a mountain troll.
I said he's worse looking than a mountain troll.
Some of us went, actually.
Yeah.
Some of us were winning
Ruffians.
hundreds.
I heard James had a great time.
I had a great
Oh
time.
yeah.
James had a great time.
Many hours are
yeah.
not remembered, but it was a good time.
Yeah, we heard you both actually were
Yeah.
frolicking.
Yeah, why not?
Frolicking.
So the trolls.
Yeah, troll's a dog.
I mean,
The
dog.
best scoring
Are
point army in the
trolls
game.
really better than ruffians?
Yeah.
Ruffians can win games. Trolls can't.
Yeah, they can.
They can be
Allied
allied.
troll into goblins.
Allied potential do they have? Yeah, I was just going to say.
Hey, you've already got one in there. You got
Yeah,
Goblin.
you have Bert and a queen. That's class.
I don't know.
Genuinely, giving might to monsters makes them infinitely better.
When you can put a model in a bag, that's got to be at least dog.
when you can squash them into jelly.
Can you bag up a watcher?
You're gonna go,
Has to be a man-sized model, mate. Can't bag up a watcher.
Ah. Lurts on a fell beast will not be contained.
I vote for dog.
By
Elliot's
ban.
loving that Lurtz and Felbeast idea. He's loving it.
That
Lurts
sounds
on
lit.
Felbeast.
So it looks like we have 2 for dog. Anyone else for dog for the trolls?
Yeah,
Jared
dog.
Ashley Walker.
Solid dog faction.
James is an Ashley Walker. Vince, where do you fall on this?
Yeah,
There's
it's
only one
dog.
good troll.
It looks like we have 4 for dog.
Let's go.
My vote is irrelevant. I was
You've got to
gonna
have
go-
one model in dog or one faction, because otherwise I don't really think there's maybe one more might be dog, but apart from that.
Why do we need something in each faction? It should be just put in the right place.
Yeah, that is the right place.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, dog isn't lonely now. Yeah, okay. Moving on, we have the Serpent Horde.
Oh my god.
Lemon. Suladan in lemon.
Suladan is a lemon hero. Serpent Horde
Spider Queen,
is
does it
So
pull?
is the Spider Queen. This is what I was going. I was.
Does it
hoping
pull
that
the
you wouldn't-
entire
yeah.
faction?
yeah, but the rest of the faction
Yeah,
is
but
great
they're
as
already
well.
a silly, nervous faction
That is
Yeah.
kind of the difference. Yeah.
So yeah, so they're a silly nervous faction with a lemon
with
hero.
a lemon hero.
Or with lemon
But
and being potential.
Saladin
And
is
lemon
more
allies, yeah.
overpowered than the Spider Queen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not only is he lemon, he is
games.
overpowered. Yeah. So
I'm not sure you would call the Spider Queen's kind of overpowered because of the things
I
that
think it's a very
you do with the
different
Spider
sense
Queen.
of the model.
Yeah, like Suladan's really good points value, which in a way makes him OP, but it's sort of he isn't oppressive in the same way that the Spider Queen can be. He's
no,
just,
Suladan needs a new category.
Suladan's level of oppression is incredibly high.
It's no. I
it's a
not.
different sort. Like it isn't some like
Spider Queen is game-winningly oppressive.
Yeah.
Sudan is just value
Spot-
lily.
No, Soladan is event winning overpowered.
but it's in a
It's
different.
That's a really good point, actually.
But it's in a,
There's 6
The
games,
Spider
Sildan
Queen-
wins you them all.
Yeah.
whereas the Spider Queen
Of
could
course.
win you one
Yeah.
game at the
Yeah,
event.
but it's-
the Spider Queen wins you 1 or 2 games. Saladin wins you the event when you ally me into a Mordor.
Yeah. I like that.
it's just more of a consistency
Scott
factor.
just dropped the
with
mic.
someone like Suladan.
I dropped it all the way on Sam's head.
Yeah, I still disagree. Because you get value from Saladin Shaw over the 6 games more than the Spider Queen, but as a model itself, the Spider Queen
You
does
can't do
individually does more. I think.
Yes, the individual things with Suladan that you'll be doing with Spider Queen.
Yeah, sure. But if we're saying how stuff does in tournaments, I mean,
Yeah, of
if you're
course,
doing
but
better
that's
over a tournament than in
yeah.
a single game.
Yeah,
it's
but that's
better.
only the model. That's like you one dropping Saladin in as an. If you're thinking about the army,
Yeah, but you're not one dropping.
You don't one-drop
Are
them in,
the
though.
Spider Queen?
You ally in the Serpent Riders as well, which
Okay,
is
so
another
taking-
fantastic bonus,
Yes, you're
like,
taking 2
you can't-
models.
which is double what you're taking with just the Spider Queen.
Yeah, but it's still 2 models. Like that's not the army.
But
Yeah,
you
the
can
army itself
also play.
still is very good by itself.
Yeah.
But they're at certain points, yes. But if you get up to a
Well,
certain
it's the same
point,
with everything.
No, Serpent
not all
Horde.
works.
You can play pure Serpent Horde all the way through.
Yeah, but
Adam, you're a big
it's good
Serpent
events.
Horde user, my friend. What's
Yeah,
your
come on, Adam.
I think Serpent Horde are really good at midpoints, sort of 500, 600. The problem is mass D4, and they've only got 1 attack compared to Hunter Orc, so they're really good. I think I would put them as a pure faction probably above Goblin Town in Silly Nervous.
Then if you're looking at the ally potential as well, that's got to bump them up a fair amount.
So, but yeah, exactly. So if you include the allies, I would say they could even go above Angmar. But I don't know. I think Angmar still are a better list.
Even
Ooh,
with
so
the
you're
allies.
Not putting them into the lemon category.
No, they're nowhere near as good as Mordor or Angmar, in my opinion.
Yeah, like if
But if we talk,
go on, Vince.
no, I was going to say, if we're talking about in terms of how many tournament winning lists you see Suladan in, I mean, it's easily
Yeah,
lemon, isn't
but
it?
It's like
it's
half
more
of
that
them.
that's like one notch in its belt sort of thing. Like I think what Adam's kind of saying is that like as a full fleshed out faction, Serpent Horde compared to something like Mordor, for example, just isn't in the same.
Yeah, I know, but we're looking at overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to take all these kind of like
Yeah.
factors and averaging them out into like.
I think the more factors you look at, just it gets better.
Yeah.
I think overall it's
Sure,
lemon
anything's
below
actually
Mordor,
bringing
but
it down
I think that's where it's going to end up.
because it works really well at mid to low points as a pure army, and then you can ally it for high points. So it's
Yeah,
pretty
true.
good at every single thing.
True. And I guess like what we're defining as the sort of benchmark to get into lemon.
Yeah, it's good at everything, isn't it?
It's good at everything. It works at all points levels. It can ally fantastically. As a pure faction, it can also win events. Like, it's better than I think it. I just do think it is lemon. It's better than
I think
Angmar.
it's like-
Can we get a show of hands for those who would vote it in lemon, please? So that's 3 for lemon. So do we have 3 for not in lemon? Me, Sam, and Adam.
That would be how maths works.
Seems to be that way. I'm going to roll a dice.
Let's go. No, Elliot. Instead, can you go online so the viewers can watch? Click a new tab.
Oh.
Click a new tab and
Yeah,
just
then
go.
we see his search history and he can't do that.
No, just click a new tab and just go random dice roll.
I can do this.
That's never. No one's going to watch that. Click a new tab
And
and
it's
do
blurry.
random dice roll.
No.
Elliot, you've got your blur background on, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've got
No one's seeing.
How do I even turn it off? Video.
now we can identify where he lives by his
On the
room.
background.
Search history. The first thing that comes up is Will Champions Patreon.
Save the bookmarks. Which type
Just
of
click, just click a new tab and click
Which-
random dice roll. 1, 2, 3.
I'm going to use a Lee and Hobbit dice. I want to roll a dice because that's more fun.
Oh,
Okay.
that's guaranteed 6 then.
So
One-
what's
So 1, 2, or 3 is Sealy Nervous. 4, 5, 6 is Lemon. It's going to be a Hobbit hole. It's a 1. So it's
Oh,
boo?
this is
hiss.
unjustified.
Lee and
Now, okay, yeah, that is. Hate these men in the comments.
Actually, obviously, there is obviously a huge bias for you.
Yeah,
admittedly.
democracy is
I
yeah.
think if you just been in the GBHL this year, you could just appreciate it.
Yeah, you can appreciate Sullivan as a model, 100%, and Serpent Riders as cav that he brings along. But like, and Adam's right. His midpoints it does well at. Yeah, when you have like 46 models at 600, you know, you play against Blind Light, you're pretty sad. Anything above, you're then only getting really the Sullivan, Serpent Riders.
I mean, we forgot to mention how good Hasharin are. Like, surely that bumps it up.
Yeah, fair.
Vince, where is your laptop, by the way? Why are you?
It's with the
lording
barrel
over
in
it?
the depths of Moria.
What do you mean?
Did you
Oh,
dig
too deep.
too
Just a
greedily?
silhouette right now, mate.
Oh, why is it so dark? No, I just
but what
there we
was
go.
just
Yeah,
off
that's
so
some
low?
lighting. There we go.
yeah.
Yeah, is your laptop on the floor?
No, so my webcam is kind of built into the laptop, so it's like tilted up.
Yeah, but is your laptop
So is
like?
mine. But
Are you
Oh,
like
this then.
sat
Where's
on
mine?
like a really high stool then or something?
Oh no, I'm on like yeah. This table's a little bit small. but
Where's
yeah.
your
For that end draft.
It's like your laptop's
Yeah.
by your shins, and like you have to go like that.
Yeah, true. My laptop is a little bit low because the table's small.
mini table. I guess it's like, let's say we were doing like a heroes tier list, right? And Soledad was in Lemon. When you open up
Correct.
to everything else, so the faction and things like that, how much does all that bring it down? Is everything else enough to keep it in Lemon?
Yes.
I'm not
Yes.
sure.
No, it's not.
I
Yeah,
don't
it
think
is.
it is.
So, guys, we're talking from a perspective of if you look at an Ardacon board. If at the moment, like, you get terrain, this army is not good because its dudes are all strength 3, defense 4, except the fatties. So it's
Yeah,
like,
then you whip in a betrayer, and it doesn't matter because you've got rerolling all strikes all the time.
yeah, but they just don't have the staying power.
It just hasn't won events though. Like the only events is
That's
one.
true as well. That's true.
The only events is one is through Mordor Sullivan, and I mean I don't know if there's a
Who
Corsair
came
Sullivan
what
one that's one or
second? Was it second or third at the Pompey 100 with it? Up here.
who?
Pompey 100.
Yeah.
No, that was with
That's
Farhad
good.
as well.
No,
with the
no.
Mythic King.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, but
Yeah.
it's not Witch King
I
Sully,
think.
is
I
it?
think.
Yeah, but
my
that's-
my thing is this: the ally potential with Serpent Horde is so fantastic with Corsairs, with Mordor,
Yeah.
with Harad, that it just is a lemon faction.
I think
Again,
you're
I-
underrating
I-
it because you're looking at it just
You
as
can
Witch King
use-
Sully.
No, I'm not. Like even Corsairs, you only ally in Saladin and cavalry models.
In
Yeah,
Far
and they're
Harad,
adding
you,
an insane amount of value to that list.
yeah.
Yeah. But that's Suladan as the thing. That's Suladan as the hero. That
Yeah,
is
but
the
it's
insane
creating an
value.
entire list.
We basically defined the Spider Queen would be in Lemon with the whole faction if she was overpowered, and I think Saladin just hits that mark. Like he can go into so
So-
many different factions.
I
He
think the
single-handedly,
way you want to look at
like,
it is
Atlas
Suladan.
hauling that list, holding it up into the Lemon
Yeah.
tier. Go ahead, Adam.
So Suladan is lemon, but the rest of the army is probably nervous.
No, but I think Saladin is if there was another tier, he would be in the he would be above
Yeah,
Lemon.
Suladan's an OP model, but the list it's an evil faction tier. It's like the faction itself. And like, yeah, it's got good allies, but the faction does
Part of
bring
the
it down a
puzzle.
little bit.
part of the puzzle. And if it's really good, that can bump it up more than it might do for a faction that
He
has
single-handedly put Moria in Silly Nervous because of one model, a Watcher
Yes.
that you can goo that. And we said, yeah, the Watcher's really good.
We didn't
No,
know.
but we
just said
thought
it
that
'cause
the
of-
faction
Yeah,
was
that's just a
roughly
lie.
nervous
Right.
anyway, and then something else.
No, the faction as a whole, Moria faction as a whole is
Yeah, it's pretty good. No one just runs it though.
No, yeah,
It's that
it's
something
not.
that's run everywhere.
It isn't.
So when are we going to move on
You said it was
to
earlier.
Yeah.
the next list? Might be Lemon. Let's move on to that.
So we're keeping it for the audio listener at the top of Silly Nervous above Angmar. Quick shout out to Dave Mini Painting, who just requested to follow me on Instagram.
Now
So I
that
picked up my
is
phone, I was like, oh, it's tackle.
Dave Mini painting.
He'll be listening. Shout out Dave Farmer. Moving on, we have Azog's Hunters.
Is Dave Mini painting Dave Farmer?
Yeah,
No way. That guy doesn't paint.
is it Chad? Azog's Hunters. What do we think about this one?
I think this is a lemon.
Lemon.
Yeah.
Lemon, yeah.
Hunter
I think Hunter Orcs are way too good.
Interesting.
Like
So-
the Hunter Orc like model, not well, maybe the faction as well.
The
So they-
heroes are great.
They max out, sort of looking at points levels, at like 700 is like the highest Rawson's taken it, and he said he didn't really like it that much. So like I think 600, 650 is the most of where he wants to take it.
I
Which
want
is
to put it below Witch King Sully. I want to put it below Sully actually.
I think
Out
I'm
of-
in that ballpark as well.
Out of pure anger now.
I'm maybe even saying below Angmar.
My list isn't in
Nah,
lemon.
it's better
Grr.
It's the fact Elliot rolled a damn dice. You should eat.
Oh.
We were tied, so yeah, I'm thinking maybe below Angmar. Like obviously, Azog's Hunter is really good. It's got really good ally potential. Works at lots of different points. You know, it's got really good quality heroes. Obviously, they're all really cheap, but like, it just doesn't work at all really at higher points in any way really. Like,
How if you just said it works at all points and then just said it doesn't actually work
no.
at quite a lot?
No, like, it works at a variety of points, sort of like from 400 up to say like 650 ish. So there's a lot of points ranges there, but at high points, it doesn't really work at all.
So we said that. So that works 400 to 650, which is 250 point gap difference. Angmar works between 700 or 650 and 800, which is a 150 point gap difference.
Yeah, I'm just saying that at higher points, like it's something that it doesn't do like that.
I'll put it below Solo than above Angmar, personally.
Yeah, I think that's exactly where it needs to go.
Yeah, I think it would. I would put it in the lemon tier below Saladin, but Saladin is now not in a lemon tier, so it has to be in Silly Nervous.
Okay, seems like three of you think it should go there. Adam and Vince, what do you think?
Is that okay? I agree with it not being amazing at high points, but at low points, it's close to being like pretty overpowered, I think.
So where would you put it, Vince?
I would have put it in, top of Silly Nervous, but then I also would have put Serpent Horde in Lemon.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, so looks
So,
like
I mean,
I would have put it there, yeah,
Look,
but
I'm
We're
Adam,
paying for our
are you in?
choice.
Are you in agreement with that? Above Angmar?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, fairly conclusive. Moving on to the Corsairs of Umbar.
This
I
is
think this is another Silly Nervous.
this has fallen off though.
It has fallen off a lot.
Oh, it's definitely fallen off.
Is it above Goblin King, Goblin Town?
No.
I think it's above Moria.
Yeah, I think it has.
I think
to
it's better
be
than
above
Harad.
Moria if it's going anywhere. Nah.
So
It's
why
got
do we
really
think
good
it's fallen
artifacts.
off?
To be fair, I don't know if it has, because like you can still get like. I think the problem with Corsair is obviously it's D4 if you go pure pirates, but they do have Black Lumorians that are keep them green in their list. So going potentially Black Lumorian front line and then just Corsairs behind, it may. Sure, you don't get throwing weapons at the front, but you still get throwing weapons behind as you go in, or you have one turn at least. Plus, you get say 12 crossbows in your list. So Dan
What's,
does make it better.
Sorry, Sam. What's the ring wraith you can get with this?
Oh, Night Bar. Never take him. He's arse.
He's actually Warder tier.
What is
He's actually all good. He's got combat mimicry. You just
He's
copy stats from
Oh,
It's so
Oh
bad.
yeah, combat
yeah,
mimicry
the
is
guy
so
who's only
upsetting.
ever as good as the other person.
Yeah. And you know, strike.
Before
It's
they
just
strike.
Yeah.
He's as good as other heroes
It's
before they strike,
guaranteed
and then they go.
he's worse than them.
Yeah,
So bad. I put it above Farharad personally. Just because you can get D6 and terror and you'll fight 4 everywhere and you get really good at shooting.
And at low points, I think it's still like a fairly solid.
Yeah, it definitely
when
is.
you ally it with a certain character who.
But
Like you can take it pure, but again, it has no cav, so taking OP Slytherin is good, admittedly.
problem with it is the heroes, isn't it? They're not great.
Gollum is pretty good. Delgamar for 75 points is pretty good value. They've
It's
got
just that
cheap.
you kind of need might in the list to get use out of your throwing weapons, and often you can't
Yeah.
use it.
That's why Delgamar is a good pick and Sutherland because you get 3 might. Like you just need a 3 might hero. That's what they
Should we
do.
talk about smoke bombs again?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think
You
smoke
hit
bombs
the
you
wall.
hit on a 1 and instantly kill any hero I want to.
I wish they did. That was
They
fucking
should.
lit.
They should channel transfix any model in the game with no repercussions.
48-inch range.
48-inch smoke bombs.
Now.
That has got to
Yeah.
be when we get to say episode 100. We'll do a tier list of everyone's worst takes. That take from Sam will be in the.
I've had a lot of support actually. If people agree with me saying that you were actually retarded. You know,
We're going to need the true historians of the Golems Gamers podcast, i.e., Stephen Denby, to tell us all the worst takes that we've had on this pod, so that we can make a tier list for them.
That goes down in my Sam's worst take.
Nah, you just don't know the army, mate. You don't know what it takes.
So where
I'm
are we?
upset. I want to put it below Farharad. I don't think it's better than Farharad.
I definitely think it belongs below Farharad.
So
Really?
James and Ash below.
Yeah, I think it's below Farharad. Yeah,
Fair enough.
but depends on the army bonus.
Yeah, it depends if Farharad becomes a dog tier, just below
Yeah,
the troll.
because they Farharad could easily be in dog tier. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, no, yeah, potentially.
Yeah, maybe, to be fair.
I think these guys are really good because the Reavers are just unbelievable. They're fearless.
It's unbelievable, Jeff.
They are unbelievable, Jeff.
So you
Wait,
have to take a bow.
have you ever played Reavers?
Yeah,
Have you?
yeah. In Spain, I played against this list pure, but with Citadel, so still kind of pure.
Not pure at all.
Pure.
Yeah, it's
Historical
kind
ally.
of pure,
Yeah, but with
not
an
pure
ally.
at all.
Well, it's like saying that Mordor's lemon, isn't it? Because people just include Citadel in the Mordor list now.
I think Mordor's still lemon, even if Suladan didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely still lemon, even without Sutherland. Yeah.
I'm not sure about that.
Well, it's
So
there.
carry on with your tale about Reavers, because I think Vince is going to hit you with a hard rebuttal and say that Reavers are awful.
So Reavers are fearless, and they can get. Am I right in thinking they get the +1 to wound? Yeah, if they trap.
They just get it inherently if they fail a courage test.
Perfect. So that's +2.
Yeah.
And they are how many points?
9.
Yeah, but you have to take a bosun.
It's conditional.
They're
Yeah.
They're 2 attacks at 9 points. You think Hunter Orcs are good? These guys are fearless Hunter Orcs with +2 to wound. Yes, they're 1 less strength. Oh, they're
That's a
higher
big
fight
deal.
value as well.
Yeah, but
Higher
you have to
fight
take a
value.
bosun, and
They're 50 points, right? Who cares?
They're
Yeah,
actually
if you're
45
taking the-
points, 46 with a spear.
These guys are amazing.
Motions are dog shit though, because they're 1 might
Motions
and
are
with
dog
a list
shit.
that needs might.
yeah, you have to take a hero with 1 might.
A
Yep.
bosun's kind of replacing the role that either Delgamar or Suladan would be filling, so it kind of doesn't work within its own list.
If you're going pure, they work, but going pure isn't the best way to run them. So
Yeah.
So, Adam, where were you going to put them? Above or below Far Harad?
Above.
Above. So you currently
Ooh.
have 3 for below and 2 for above, and I have yet to cast my vote. I'm probably going to say above just so I can roll another dice. Oh, but I put the dice
Fucking hell.
away.
James, if we lose 2 roll-offs, actually, it's been exactly the same 3 both times.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it below.
James and Vince, if we lose another roll-off, that's it.
No.
There is no roll off.
I put my dice away, so
Good boy.
I'm going to vote below, so I don't have to get it out. Okay, moving on, we have Barad-dûr.
Oh god, I want to put them in lemon so bad because of Sauron.
It's a pretty lemon model, to be fair.
When we you throw back to the Monster Mash tier list where me and Sam went at it over how good Sauron is.
The Monster Mash tier list.
Infamous.
Yeah.
I think that's the worst episode you've ever done.
That was a lemon.
None of our
fucking-
episodes were bad. What are you guys on about?
Yeah, can we rank our episodes at like number 100 or something?
That should totally be. We should rank every episode.
Imagine ranking 100 episodes. We'd be here for like 5 hours.
That'd be atrocious.
That's a lit episode.
That would take the new crown of Ashley Walker.
Be funny though.
I reckon, I'm going to start this off by saying this is above Conjurer's King, below Isengard.
It's definitely in the nervous tier, but
Yeah.
where in it, I'm not sure.
Above
It's-
Conjurer's King, below Isengard.
What about
Yeah, yeah, I think
preference
so.
that if there was no Barad-dûr, there would be no Witch King of Angmar because it's in the Witch King of Angmar
So
section.
everything really hinges on Sauron, so therefore it's going in lemon. Yeah, I guess it's like it's got such a like it all revolves around Sauron, so like it isn't really like a proper sort of army like that you can run at lots of points levels, and it's just such a different kind of list.
I'm actually happy to agree with Sam on this one and just chuck it.
I
slap
sort of
bang
like
in
it
the
there
middle
as well.
part.
I'm not gonna lie. How do other people feel?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I think there, yeah.
Okay. Finally, the most important list that we have. Lots of options with this one. We have the Desolator of the North.
Ashley Walker, I think, personally.
It's Smaug.
This model, I hate this model.
I don't think it's Ashley Walker.
Hasn't
It's actually
Smaug
it's
only,
pretty
like,
fucking good.
one event.
I mean, Smaug has won events.
Yeah.
Has he?
So dead.
I think he
It's such
has.
a dead model.
When?
Oh, maybe it was a non-GPHL.
I'm not taking
I
that bait,
think-
James Doble. I learned my lesson.
I already threw that out there.
You bastard. When Vince said something, I know I didn't hear any commotion.
He didn't give me a good enough response.
If I
Realistically,
Actually, I think
Any
it was
word came out of my mouth.
Candice that won that event.
Is that
Do you
a
remember who it
Candace
was,
chariot?
God, I'm going to use that into the West.
I think the fact that you can't play Smaug below 700 points means
makes it
it is
better.
Ashley Walker.
Means he's good at all points values you can take him at.
That is a tappable take.
Really not, though.
I'll tell you who's never going to win into the West. That model right there.
No, you just take like what, half a Smaug.
Take his tail.
What?
That's it.
Sounds OP.
I'll tell you above Ruffians, but yeah.
Okay, so we've got one vote for Ashley Walker, James.
I think he's better than the trolls.
So we're
He
going
is better than the trolls, agreed. Like he like
Yeah,
he
better
is
than the
better
trolls.
than the trolls. That is just how it is.
Definitely
You just-
better than the
You
trolls.
just said Ashley Walker though.
Yeah, but he's 700 points plus. Even though he's better than trolls, like no one enjoys playing against Smaug. I'm really sorry, but you just don't.
I
I've
don't
never
think
had the
that's
pleasure.
part of. I don't think
I've
that's
never had
part
to
of
play
the-
Yeah,
Smaug.
it's all about how oppressive they are to the other
No, I
player.
know, but like it's 700 points. It doesn't. It's not even good. It's not even a good model at 700 points.
Yes.
No, it's not. That
You've
model, it's
played
not
a
good.
Smag before, Sam.
Huh?
You played a Smag before.
No, but I've only ever heard bad stories about it. So
So we've got Sam voting Ashley Walker. James is in dog. Vince, where do you fall on this?
Yeah, dog.
Dog. Adam.
Dog.
Let's
We've got
go.
3 for dog. Ashley Walker.
I believe it is in my tier worse than Ruffians.
Okay,
The
I think
single worst faction in the game.
it's better than the trolls.
No, it's got to be worse than the trolls.
Nah.
I guess you
The
can
trolls
ally the
are-
trolls into other lists, right? The Smaug is literally a one-trick
You
pony.
can Smaug ally. You can Smaug
Yeah.
ally. You can
700
ally
points.
Smaug.
Maybe
can
I am
Smaug
too,
ally.
Smaug and Barad-dûr at 1,100.
Oh,
Pretty typical.
you
Yeah.
can't beat that.
Yeah, I'm feeling maybe I
Smaug
like
and
it more.
Sauron.
That'd actually be fun. I actually kind of get bored.
We've got the two worst ones, sort of like the odd factions at the very bottom two. Okay, do we want to move anything around now? We're looking at where we've got a lot in Silly Nervous.
I think what you can gauge from this faction tier list viewers, as opposed to our good tier list, is that evil is a lot better than good.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I thought we were
I-
living in an evil meta at the moment.
We're living in an evil meta. I'd almost be tempted to move the Necromancer down into dog.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I think it's good there. I just is there any way we can think of breaking up this Silly Nervous?
Yeah, you just put some
Or-
down in the.
Yeah, you put
lemon
Saladin
tier.
into lemon, and then you also move Hunter Orcs into lemon, but for some reason you don't want to do that.
No, I don't think Hunter Orc should be up there, but
I think maybe Suladan goes like very bottom of lemon, but again, see, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Well,
it's not the army, it's the model. The model is
Elliot, mate, you can change your
Yeah,
vote
no,
and put it there.
I do.
the model is
agree.
lemon. Like that's just how it is.
Guys, I
It's-
love how you don't actually refer to it as Serpent Horde.
See,
Yeah.
I just said Suladan. You know,
Right, Sam called Goblin Town Goblin King earlier.
Yeah, because that's who it is on there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and like we're saying Spider Queen. You know, we're not
because
saying
it's just a
Guldur,
spider queen. It is
so
just
are we?
like,
Like we're saying Angmar.
it's like, oh, it's got
Not
really
just
good allies.
Saladin though.
What Saladin and two separate riders have really good allies.
Yeah, and you can also use the Serpent Horde at almost all points levels and do
No,
very
you
well.
can't. No, you can't.
You can.
You can't take Serpent Horde at 800 points pure or whatever and do well with it.
Yeah, you can.
Do it.
Yeah, still do all right.
Do it, mate.
Do it.
No.
I think it would do very well.
So it's just, you play as blind light. It's just so sad.
Cooked.
Oh yeah, you'd be upset, but you still would have like 60 models. Potentially, you'd have a Mumak, you know.
I'm back.
And for that reason right there, it's not going up.
Ashley, are you going to bring out a Mummock at one of your upcoming GHR 100?
I only own 3, so
That sounds
I
perfect.
might.
Round
Wow.
out of his mouth coming soon.
Good mama, baby.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. It seems
Elliot,
like
are
we're-
you going to show the viewers the good stats?
I totally don't have them up. So
I told you, and I sent them to you.
yeah, but we're not doing a good faction tier list.
No,
are
but
we?
we've completed the evil
Evil
faction tier
one.
list now, and we could totally show them how
We could
our
just do a
previous
separate pod on how we think about good and evil.
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Let us
Actually,
know
like
if you'd
that.
like to see that down in the comments.
If you'd like to see that,
Yeah.
And
certain amount
remember,
of-
guys, hit like on this video.
Yeah. If
I
we
actually
had
do like that
faction
idea,
stats,
James.
we could totally talk about the evil ones now. But yeah, we don't have the evil ones. So okay, that is going to do it. So I think very quickly for the audio listener, because some people do only listen on Spotify, I'll run through quickly. So from the bottom moving up, we have Sharky's Rogues, Desolator of the North, in other words, Smaug, the Trolls, Dark Powers of Guldur, Khand, Barad-dûr, Isengard, Easterlings, then Azog's Legion. Then moving into Silly Nervous, we have Moria, Corsairs, Harad, Goblin Town, Dark Denizens, Angmar, Azog's Hunters, Serpent Horde, and then at the very tippy top of the mountain, we have Mordor. It's funny how we had Mordor and Gondor at the very top.
It's
And
because they've got the most stuff.
they do. Maybe the two main factions, and then Rohan and Isengard are like the two also in the kind of inner circle of that. But we ranked them
We
both.
do totally have the stats for the evil factions and how they perform.
Ash is desperate to tell everyone.
But I don't have them to hand. We'll do another episode.
I can send. Oh my goodness, I'm so angry. Actually,
is-
if I'm angry, I can only imagine how the viewers feel. So tune in
Oh,
next
they are
week,
seething.
Let us know. Give
We'll
me your hate.
ameliorate this situation next week.
where we will have the statistics of the season. We'll have the statistics of how good and evil factions and legendary legions have done this season.
Yeah, we could do it at the end of the year because we're going to do like an end of year sort of episode. Maybe we could tie it into that somehow.
Oh, that works perfectly. Yes,
Yeah,
Elliot.
sounds
Good idea.
Okay. Compromise on the pod. Love it. Okay. But thank you very much, everyone, for watching another episode of the Golems Gamers podcast.